Chargers haven't won a Super Bowl, but they've been to one. 29, they were blown out, sir, by the San Francisco 49ers. Bengals have been to 3 and haven't won one. They are, as we said earlier, on deck now. They're not on deck. They're in the batter's box.
Oh, they are.
Go, Mike Brown. It's time to dig deep. It's time to search the couch cushions. It's time to bust open that mason jar and count up the coins and take it to the bank and have them put it in that big-ass machine and roll it into papers with nickels, dimes, and quarters. Here is Mike Brown talking about the simple question of the priority for getting Joe Burrow and other great players like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase signed to long-term extensions.
Well, it's pretty obvious that Joe is the heart of the matter. And after that, we want all the guys we can get, but we may have to go short in a couple cases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, hey. And look, I made this argument a few weeks back. I can't remember whether it was before or during our hiatus, but it occurred to me at some point. And this ties into all the hoopla over the schedule and how the NFL wants to see where the dust settles on quarterback movement before they decide what games are going to be showcased in prime time to elevate the shield, to elevate the brand, to put the best games out there and get the biggest audiences. The franchise quarterbacks are the ones who make it happen. The franchise quarterbacks have far greater value to the game than they ever receive from their teams. And the salary cap is the thing that gets the teams in a position where they can maybe squeeze the guy to take less. You got Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, who is happily underpaid with the idea that that money is going to be used to put a great team around him. And now, just that comment from Mike Brown. You don't have to say it clearly. All you have to do is allude to it. The message is, hey, Joe, if you're a pig, you're not going to have your other little piglets running around that can help you win football games. You can't eat all the whatever the slop is they give to pigs because we got other pigs that got to be fed as well.
Yeah, I listen. It's a fine line here. You know, the first thing I wanted to say to Mike Brown is, yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, yeah, some guys are going to fall by the wayside. They might not get as much money as they want, whatever else. Hey, but it's a good problem to have. They got talent on that football team. Mike Brown and the front office, the scouting department, the coaches, they've proven they can draft young talent and kind of keep it going here. So that's what they're going to have to rely on a little bit. But yeah, this Burrow thing's interesting, Mike. I mean, it really is. One, I feel like Burrow, out of these top quarterbacks we're talking about, and I don't know, this is just gut feeling. I feel like he's got the most business sense or knows how much he's worth to a franchise a little bit, maybe more than the other guys or more into that. I feel like he would be into it more than maybe some of the other guys. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but I do wonder how, these contracts affect this whole thing. I got to think whether the Herbert thing happened or not, right? They're in the ballpark of this money already in their conversations. Now, what I think could be interesting is what if they are in a ballpark that's, a little bit bigger? What if they've been talking about numbers about 57, 58 million a year, right? That's to me where this could make the Burrow thing a little dicey too. Does he want to look like the guy that just totally blows everybody out in the market and it looks like a little bit like, hey, yeah, okay, I'm the man and we can't keep everybody, right? Because I do think between Herbert, Josh Allen, and Mahomes contracts, they're team friendly in a lot of ways. Like we just discussed with Herbert, it's 7 years. Mahomes, of course, Allen, of course. I think that puts a little pressure on Burrow not to look too greedy, for lack of a better way to say it, Mike. And there's nothing wrong with being greedy, like you said, but it's a real thing in the football world.
Well, and it comes back to the argument I've been making for years now. Kirk Cousins tried to do it. Darrelle Revis tried to do it. The league has consistently slammed the door on it. But the best way to do an ultra-long-term deal that is a win-win, that protects everyone, is to tie the compensation to a percentage of the salary cap. Now, the problem is we've seen this with Jalen Hurts, 51, highest paid player in league history. Now, Justin Herbert jumping Lamar Jackson with $52.5 million. There's a way to package and calculate that you can have this huge headline, and then you get to the truth. And the truth is there may be some issues with these deals, and they may become obsolete sooner rather than later. That's part of the concern, and I think that's what Burrow is naturally and should be concerned about, justifiably.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's very sensitive to the business realities. Hey, I'll sign up for life here as long as I know I'm protected against the reality that the cap keeps going up and the market keeps going up. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was the standard bearer just 3 years ago at $45 million per year. And now the top of the market is $7.5 million more than what Mahomes is getting, to the point where it is becoming glaring. I'm amazed. And the Chiefs fans get so pissed at me when I point this out. But I like to see greatness rewarded. I don't like to see greatness taken advantage of. Patrick Mahomes is the greatest player we've ever seen. And I don't care if he's okay with it. It's wrong for him to be getting $7.5 million less than Justin Herbert. And it's wrong for him to be getting $6 million less per year than Jalen Hurts. It's just wrong. He's better than both of them. He's the best right now. And he and Burrow should be getting the most. And maybe it's when Burrow finally gets his that Mahomes swoops in and shoots past all of them.
Yeah.
And I heard that earlier this year. It's going to happen before week 1.
Right.
Let's see what Herbert does. Let's see what Burrow does. And here comes Mahomes. But the first step is Burrow. And I'm telling you, the fairest way to lock these guys up to contracts over the ultra long term is by guaranteeing their compensation will go up with the cap. I've also heard another way to do it would be to tie it to the franchise tag, or not just the base franchise tag, but the 5 highest paid players at the position, so it keeps going up that way.
Right.
So as others go past you, you get lifted with them as you're under contract for 10 or 12 years.
Right.
But it's only fair, folks. It's only fair. And I know people say, oh, they signed their contract. Quit trying to help these guys. Why are you trying to help these guys? Because, look, behind all of this are a bunch of billionaires floating around on their super yachts. Everybody's getting paid. Everybody's kicking ass. Everybody's doing well. I want the guys who are out there putting their literal lives on the line to be fairly compensated for what they bring. We're not tuning in for the cutaways of Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft in the owner's suite. We're tuning in to watch what the guys do on the field.
Yeah, no, 100%. You're right. And, I would think at some point something like that's going to be done. I don't know if that's going to happen now. It might take a few more years of us banging the table and people knocking at the door and yelling and trying to get, guys to get a percentage of the cap or whatever. You're right. Hey, there's coaches in college and the NFL. College especially. I remember when I was at Texas. I mean, Mac Brown had a thing in his deal that he had to be one of the 5 highest paid coaches in football. So, wait, this guy got this money, this guy got this money, this guy, well, Mac's going to get more money. He's going to be in the top 5. I believe Nick Saban has a similar thing in his contract, or did at least at one time. So, yeah, it'll be interesting, Mike. I don't know where it's going to go, but we know Burrow's coming down the pipe here. And, yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what he does. I do feel like he's business savvy and understands his worth. And, of course, his worth to that team and that organization that, come on, let's be real, was the bottom of the NFL. And now we go, damn, they're cool. Look at them. Damn, I want to buy their jerseys. Damn, that was an ugly uniform 3 years ago. Now it's the coolest uniform in
looks
football.
Pretty good now.
Yeah, right. So
good now.
That's his worth it's phenomenal where it is. And I don't know, Mike, as I sit here and talk about this and on the heels of our running back conversation, maybe at some point this whole quarterback market goes somewhere where they don't count totally against the salary cap. Like you said, they're worth to the game, even though it's crazy money. I mean, you're right. We're tuning in on Monday Night Football to watch Mahomes Allen or, Allen and Burrow. I mean, that's what we got to watch this. That's all we talk about all week. And there is great worth there. But the owners are going to dig their foot in that department, and they're never going to make that easy as far as that goes.
If the commissioner's making 60, 65, 70 million a year.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
The best quarterbacks, the folks we're tuning in to watch should be making that much too.
Right.
It's only fair for what they do and what they give of their lives and their bodies and themselves to the sport. You mentioned the running backs, and I'm going to do a quick right turn here, but I'm going to bring it all back together, hopefully.
All right, cool.
I've seen some blowback on social media from people in the media kind of looking down their noses at this effort by running backs to come together and agitate.
Yeah.
And try to come up with a solution. There's kind of a sneering, a condescending, there's nothing you can do. And in reality, there isn't a whole lot they can do to change the system because the system is rigged against them. And it's not going to be easy to get the union on board with a change that would help only the running backs because it hurts players at other positions. Then you got to get the league to agree to it. But here's where I think it's extremely beneficial that the running backs are working together to generate attention to their plight. Because this isn't a new problem. This has been hanging around for 15 years.
Yeah.
And now that the running backs are pissed off and talking to each other and complaining about it, all of a sudden everybody knows about it now. And I hope, Chris, that this is the bridge toward getting to the point where the average fan doesn't just complain about all the money these guys are making. Can you believe how much money they're making? Oh, they're making more than me, so they're making too much. Well, let's understand where they are, how they fit, what they do, how their lives change when they can't get out of bed during football season.
Yeah, let alone when they're 45 years old.
Right. And then when they're done and their legs pointing in three different directions, they can't walk right.
Right.
I mean, this, I think, is going to end up being, in hindsight, maybe the moment where more people just accept the fact that it's okay for these guys to try to do what they can to get paid. And when they try to use the system to turn it around against the team, one of the things I've been arguing is if you got a franchise tag player who's stuck on that 1-year deal because the deadline, that stupid deadline's come and gone, and you get to the end of the regular season and the window opens on a long-term deal, why not say to the team, I ain't playing in the playoffs unless you give me my long-term deal.
Yeah.
What would have been unthinkable a few years ago, now that we're talking about it and understanding the situation, understanding the system and how it screws the players, maybe there will be support, not disdain, if a guy ever does that. And that's my point.
Yeah.
As players try to work the business in their favor, when the business is rigged against them through CBA after CBA after CBA, that makes it harder for them individually to get absolute maximum compensation. Maybe when they try to get maximum compensation now, fans and media won't wag a finger. They'll do a little golf clap for them when they're taking advantage of the rights they have under the labor deal.
Well, I mean, I would hope so. And done right. Done, the right way. And I guess, with the certain business ethics and the way the NFL is right now. Yeah. And we're going to support them. We are. Yeah. It's a dirty business. And I know you and I, we get exhausted about talking about this. It's crazy. We're in a country where a bunch of low class or middle class people at times, they don't like the oligarchs and how rich they are. And then here we are. Oh, wait, the working class, middle class, low class guy's about to get paid and we're mad he's going to get paid and we want the oligarch and the rich guy to keep being richer. It doesn't make sense. It does not at all. I don't understand it, why the fans take that side. I understand their loyalties to the uniform and the logo and all that, But, yeah, I think with what we're talking about, players might have to get a little down and dirty here. And they're going to have to look like jerks every now and then, maybe to the public. But that's where you and I and hopefully some of the other people in the media can stick up for them and continue to explain the situation to the fans who don't quite get it.
It's almost like the fans regard the owners as a different species from a different planet. They have a status that none of us can. We can never aspire to attain the wealth of them. So we're never going to resent them because we can't even begin to comprehend what they have. But we do resent just the average Joe among the rest of us that gets plucked out, that happens to have God-given talent, like they don't bust their asses to get the most out of it. But this guy's elbow to elbow with us, and he's the one who gets chosen to make 10, 12, 15 million a year. We're gonna hate him, and we're gonna give the billionaires a pass. It's such a bizarre dynamic.
Well, like
And
Pete was in
hopefully
my
these
ear.
conversations will get people.
Pete's in my ear,
Go ahead.
Mike. That's just you're saying it, and he's going. I like when my players take less. Yeah, okay, great. I know, but it's them sacrificing their lives, and it doesn't make it right. That's where Pete just said he goes. I'm a jerk, and he's right. He's a jerk for that. But I understand.
He didn't say jerk. Thank you for self-editing.
I know. Yeah, but he's we're all that way. But I think if we can sit down in a quiet room and really unpack the details and think about it, we shouldn't be that way, or at least shouldn't be mad when the player goes, wait, I got 4 years of making money here, and my greatest gift I have on the planet is my physical ability, and this is my chance to capitalize, and that's where I got to go with it. And that's the fight we're fighting here for the players against the NFL, and we'll continue to do that.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.